Hello and welcome to another informational video brought to you by United Motor Products. Today we're talking about oil pressure sensors and their importance of replacing them in your vehicle. As simple as an oil pressure sensor is, it is an essential component of your vehicle's engine. It helps to monitor the oil pressure in the engine and ensure that it's operating at optimal levels. If the oil pressure sensor fails or becomes damaged, it can cause serious problems for your engine, including reduced performance, efficiency, and even engine failure. Some common signs that your oil pressure sensor may need to be replaced include a malfunctioning oil pressure gauge, an illuminated oil pressure warning light on the dashboard, and even a decrease in the engine's performance and efficiency. On late model vehicles, the oil pressure sensor is a little bit more sophisticated and can actually show the oil pressure being experienced at the sensor's head. Replacing the oil pressure sensor is a relatively simple process that can be done by a technician or a skilled do-it-yourselfer. It is usually located on the engine block, oil pump, or the oil filter housing and can be easily accessed for replacement. So how does the signal of the oil pressure sensor get interpreted by the engine's computer? An oil pressure sensor is designed to monitor the oil pressure within the engine's lubrication system. It typically consists of a pressure-sensitive element, such as a diaphragm or strain gauge, which responds to changes in the oil pressure. Additionally, some advanced sensors may include additional features such as temperature sensors and integrated electronic circuitry for signal conditioning. The diaphragm or other sensing element inside the oil pressure sensor produces an electrical signal. This analog voltage signal is typically in the form of voltage ranging from 0 to 5 volts, with 0 volts indicating low or no oil pressure and 5 volts representing high oil pressure. Years ago, oil pressure sensors were a standalone sensor that sent signals directly to the gauge or dashboard light. Today, the analog voltage signal is sent to the engine control unit or ECU, and it is converted to a digital signal by the ECU so it can be interpreted by the computer's microprocessor. Once the digital signal is received, onboard computers compare it with the predefined thresholds or values programmed into the software. These thresholds determine whether the oil pressure is within an acceptable range or if it deviates from the expected values. Depending on the specific vehicle and its diagnostic system, the ECU may also use the oil pressure sensor to gather additional data about the engine's overall health. The ECU can use this information sent by the sensor to help diagnose issues with the engine's lubrication system or identify problems with the engine bearings or other internal components. In today's computer-driven engines, the integration of the oil pressure sensor and other sensors like the crankshaft and camshaft position sensors allow the computer to evaluate multiple signals to determine if the issue is with the sensors or the engine itself. This makes the oil pressure sensor a very important part of the overall running of the engine. In the case that an abnormal oil pressure reading is detected, the ECU or even PCM may also store relevant error codes in its memory. These error codes can be retrieved using a specialized diagnostic tool like a scan tool, allowing the automotive technician to identify and diagnose specific problems related to the oil pressure system. When you're retrieving codes, well, there are possible error codes or DTCs that are affiliated with the oil pressure system and the oil pressure sensor. For example, code P0520 indicates an issue with the engine oil pressure sensor and its circuitry. It may be a faulty sensor, a wiring problem, or a malfunctioning switch inside the sensor. Codes P0521 or 522, 523, or 524 indicate that the oil pressure sensor is delivering inputs that are higher or lower than the expected values that are on the software for the vehicle. If you're working on a vehicle with variable valve timing, codes P000A, B, C, and D are codes for the variable valve timing system and are set when the actuators are slow to respond due to a lack of oil pressure and are often present with codes P0521, 522, 523, and 524. The combination of these codes indicate a lack of pressure or an issue that is preventing the variable valve timing system from performing as designed. It's important to note that these codes provide a starting point for diagnostics and don't necessarily isolate the exact cause of the issue. Additional testing and inspection are required to identify and resolve the underlying problem. In conclusion, replacing your oil pressure sensor with a quality OEM replacement like the ones from United Motor Products is essential to maintaining the health and performance of your vehicle's engine. By replacing the sensor as soon as you notice any issues, you can help to prevent costly repairs and ensure that your engine stays running at peak efficiency. With all of the high quality components and manufacturing procedures that go into each and every United Motor Product sensor, you can have the confidence of installing only the best products on your vehicle. Unlike other brands that offer either a 1-year or 36,000-mile warranty, United Motor Products has the confidence in their sensors and all of the engine management products to offer a 5-year or 50,000-mile warranty. Thank you for watching.